Hey everyone, and welcome back. Today we're
Yeah.
doing a deep dive on practical home security upgrades. The kind that maybe you've thought about but weren't sure where to start.
Yeah, exactly.
We're looking at a super helpful YouTube video I found from Fracking Creations, and they break down some surprisingly simple ways to beef up your entry door security.
It's really all about those small things that can make a big difference. Like, did you know that just by swapping out a few screws and maybe adding an extra lock, you can make your door significantly more secure?
Seriously,
Uh-huh.
I'm intrigued.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
So tell me, what exactly are we diving into today?
Okay, so the video zeroes in on three main upgrades. They cover the security strike plate, the door lock itself, and then they talk about those often overlooked hinge screws.
Gotcha.
And then as a bonus, they throw in some tech tips at the end for an extra layer of security.
Okay, I'm all ears. Let's start with the strike plate. The video makes a big deal about how important it is, but honestly, I've never given much thought to that little metal plate.
Right. But it's actually crucial. Think about it. When someone tries to force a door open, the strike plate is what takes the brunt of the force.
I guess that makes sense.
But here's the thing. Most doors come with these kind of flimsy strike plates and short screws that only go into the door jamb, not the stud behind it.
Wait, so the door jamb itself isn't like the strongest anchor. What do you mean by stud here?
The studs are like the backbone of your wall, those vertical wooden beams that give it strength.
Ah,
So
exactly.
for real security, you want that strike plate anchored to the stud, not just that kind of flimsy door jamb. It's like trying to hang a heavy picture on drywall. It's just not going to hold.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
So how do we actually upgrade this strike plate situation?
Okay, well, the video suggests replacing the standard strike plate with a heavy-duty one that's designed for security. And then here's the key. You use longer screws, like 3-inch screws, that can reach all the way into that sturdy stud. It's like sinking roots deep into the ground. Gives your door a solid foundation to resist force.
3-inch screws. Got it. But before I run off to the hardware store, the video also mentions something about measuring before you buy a new strike plate.
Yeah, you want to make sure you get the right size. So you need to measure the distance between the deadbolt and latch bolt on your existing hardware. That way, the new strike plate lines up perfectly.
Compatibility issues, always a pain. What about the installation itself? Is that a whole big thing?
Nah, the video walks you through it step by step. It actually seems pretty doable with basic tools. You might need to chisel out a bit of the door jamb to make room for the new plate, but they show you exactly how to do that.
Got it. Okay. Sounds manageable. So you've got a super strong strike plate. What's next on our door security checklist?
All right, let's talk about the high security door lock. This is like adding extra muscle to your door.
Extra muscle. So this is more than just your average deadbolt.
Exactly. It's designed to withstand a lot more force, and it prevents the door from being opened even if the main lock is compromised. Like if someone tries to pick it or they somehow have a key.
Wow. Okay. So where do you even install one of these super locks? High up on the door? Like a secret entrance.
Haha, that's what a lot of people think.
Yeah.
But actually, no. The video explains that installing it lower on the door is much more effective. Most of the force during a break-in is going to be concentrated lower down on the door. Shoulder slams, kicking, that kind of thing.
So strategically placed to meet that force head on.
Right. And just like with the strike plate, those 3-inch screws are your best friend here. They make sure that lock is anchored solidly into the stud for maximum holding power. The video also stresses getting a flush fit against the door. Both for security and looks, nobody wants a wonky-looking lock.
All right. So far, we've got a fortified strike plate, a seriously strong lock. Anything else we need to think about?
Well, don't forget about the hinges.
The hinges.
Yeah, they're often overlooked, but weak hinge screws are another vulnerability that burglars can exploit. Think about it. If the hinges give way, it doesn't matter how strong your locks are, the door's coming down.
Oh, I see your point. So
Okay.
how do we address that weak spot?
Again, super easy fix. The video recommends simply replacing those short hinge screws with, you guessed it, 3-inch screws that reach all the way into the stud.
Okay. Starting to see a theme here with these 3-inch screws.
They're the unsung heroes of door security.
Who knew a simple screw could make such a difference?
Right. It's all about understanding the weak points and how to strengthen them. By reinforcing these key areas, you're creating a much more solid barrier against forced entry.
I feel like I'm getting a crash course in door anatomy. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. And it's empowering, right? You don't need to be a security expert to make your home safer.
Exactly. Okay, so those are the physical upgrades. Stronger strike plate, better lock, beefier hinge screws.
Yeah.
But the Fracking Creations guy also had those tech tips, right?
Yeah. Yeah, he had a couple extra things you could add on.
What were those again?
So he talked about adding a door sensor,
Oh, right.
which is a good way to, get alerts if there's any activity at your door.
So it, like, tells you if the door opens.
Exactly, yeah. Whether it's opened, closed, even if it's left ajar.
Oh, it's handy.
Yeah, like having an extra set of eyes, even when you're not home.
I've always been curious about those sensors. Are there different types?
Oh, yeah, definitely. There are a bunch of options out there.
Ah.
You can get simple ones, just magnetic sensors that tell you if the door is open or closed.
Okay.
Or you can go for more sophisticated ones that connect to your phone or like a whole home security system.
Fancy.
Yeah, some of them can even tell the difference between someone forcing the door open and it just being opened normally.
Oh, wow.
So depends what you're looking for and how much you want to spend.
That's cool. So you can kind of tailor it to your needs.
Exactly.
Nice. Now, the other thing you mentioned was video doorbells. Those seem to be, like, everywhere these days.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
What's that?
Well, I mean, they add that visual element, right? You can actually see who's at your door before you open it.
Makes sense.
And most of them record footage, too.
Oh, right.
Which can be really helpful, if something happens.
Yeah, like catching those porch pirates we hear about.
Exactly. Or even just for, seeing when your packages arrive.
True.
Yeah.
True. But I'm thinking, with all the other stuff we talked about, the stronger strike plate and the extra lock and those super strong hinges, wouldn't that be enough to deter most people?
You're probably right. Yeah, those physical upgrades are definitely the foundation.
Right.
They make it so much harder for someone to actually force their way in.
Yeah.
But the tech stuff, that just gives you an extra layer of like awareness and peace of mind.
Okay, so it's like a layered security system.
Exactly.
First you have the physical barriers, and then the tech stuff just adds that extra monitoring and control.
Exactly. It's all about finding that balance, what works best for you and what you're comfortable with.
Makes sense. I'm definitely feeling more confident about my own front door now.
Good. That's great to hear.
Yeah, it's all thanks to those longer screws.
Those longer screws, they're the real heroes here.
Seriously.
Yeah.
So I think our listeners are ready to, go out and fortify their doors.
Yeah, I think so too. And if they want to see it all step by step,
Yeah.
definitely recommend checking out that Fracking Creations video.
Right. Seeing it all come together can really help.
For sure. Plus, he's got some good tips and tricks in there.
Yeah, he does. We'll be sure to include a link in the show notes for everyone.
All right.
Sounds good.
Well, I think that about wraps up our deep dive on door security upgrades.
Yeah, I think we covered it all. Hope everyone found it helpful and maybe even a little bit empowering.
I hope so too.
It's all about taking control of your security, right?
Absolutely. Knowledge is power.
Couldn't agree more. All right, everyone, that's it for today. Until next time, stay curious, stay informed, and most importantly, stay safe.